Hello everyone, today I'm going to be talking about the Subtech Draincam monitor, all the different functions of the monitor and how to actually use it. So turning on the monitor, the first thing that we're going to have is this data line on the bottom. It's going to give you your time, date, and your footage counter. Beneath that we have a few options. We have 4 buttons here and then our power button on the right hand side. So getting right into it, the first button that we have is a screen invert. Pretty common for anyone that doesn't have a self-leveling camera head. If you wanted to flip the image inside of a pipe, just hit the invert button, that'll flip it over. Hit it again to go back right side up. If you have a self-leveling camera head, again, this doesn't really pertain to you. The next 2 buttons that we have, down and up, are for the brightness of the camera head. So the LEDs that are built in, hold down to dim and hold the up button to brighten it up. Once you release it, it'll go back to the menu, or excuse me, the main screen. Now from there, we can hit menu. And the first option that we have is the transmitter, which is the built-in SON in the camera system that allows it to be located underground. So if we hit the transmitter button, we're going to have either 512 or 874 hertz that we can operate on. The most common is going to be 512, so that's what we'll use. So we hit 512 and we get a blinking 512 hertz on our main screen, and that tells us that our SON is transmitting. Now to turn it off, once we're done locating or to conserve the battery, just hit the menu button again, hit transmitter, hit 512 one more time, and that'll turn it off. All right, moving on. So hitting menu again, our next option on here is going to be a recording option or recorder. And that is if you're trying to record on a separate device. So if you're doing an audio or video out to a separate recorder, that's where that would come into play. It's very rarely used. If it's something you're trying to set up, just give us a call and we'll talk you through it. The next button is going to be the footage counter options. So once we hit that, we have a reset feet and meters. So let's say you put your camera head down to clean out a few feet and then start going out laterally. You can reset once you get to the bottom before you start that turn, so you can get the footage, the lateral footage instead of both combined. There's a lot of different ways it can be used. So you can go from feet to meters again, and then the last one here is just model. If we click that, it's going to tell you your real type. So in this situation, we have a 140-foot mini. So we exit out of there, hit menu again, and now we'll hit next. Our next options is text, clock, and mute. So if we hit text, we can write whatever we want on the screen. If we want to put an address for the customer or whatever it is that you're trying to do, you can just type it in here. So you just arrow through, hit enter, and you can type anything that you want on the screen. Once you have what it is that you want, it's going to stay on the overlay of the video throughout the scope. Just hold down enter for 2 seconds and that'll be on the screen. To delete, just hit the delete button and we'll hold down enter for 2 seconds. And then we're back to our main screen. We'll hit menu again, next. And then we have our clock, which is how to change the date and time. We hit this here, we can change time or date. And it's just over an arrow up and down. So if I wanted to change the time, I could just arrow down or hit the down button and hit enter when I'm done. From there, we'll hit menu one more time, next, and then we have a mute button. So if you're doing an audio recording over your video through your scope and you wanted to mute yourself for a second, you can hit the mute button, or you can just pull the boom mic out of the monitor. That'll stop the audio recording as well. And that is it for the features on the monitor as far as the buttons are involved. And the last thing we'll talk about is the USB drive recording. When you put your flash drive in the USB slot, there's a series of lights on the side of the monitor. You'll have a green light, which tells you that it's reading the flash drive and it's ready to record. From there, you'll just hit the red button and it starts to record and it'll give you a red light. When you're done recording, hit the button again. The red light goes away and it tells you that you're done recording. And that is all the features of the monitor. We'll be doing a separate video going into depth over the USB and the Wi-Fi. But that is all the different functions and the buttons of the Draincam monitor.